Hello guys, today we have here a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, the SM-G935. We want to change the battery because the battery blew up and you can see the back housing was pushed by the battery out of the frame. The first thing we need to do is to heat up the back housing. In my case, it's easy to get the flexible tool between back housing and frame because I have the gap. If you don't have a gap, maybe you use the spudger to make a little gap and then you can get this flexible tool between back housing and frame. But first we need to heat up the back housing to 80 degrees, maybe 90 degrees to liquefy the glue. Now we can see the failure. The battery bottom blew a little bit up and that's why the back housing was pushed out of the frame. In the next step we need to remove all screws and then we remove the top frame with the induction coil and the bottom frame with the buzzer inside. They are only clipped in the display frame. And maybe the induction coil is glued at the edges of the frame. Now we try to remove the mainboard, so we need to unplug the battery, the display flex cable, the front camera, the connector for the earpiece and the connector for the power button. After that we can unplug the antenna cable and then we need to remove the SIM tray and then we can lift up the mainboard, but pay attention to the different flex cables. You only need to lift up the top of the mainboard because at the bottom from the other side is the plug of the dock connector and we need to unplug it. Now comes the hardest part. We try to remove the battery. You can heat it up a little bit and go under that with a spudger, but be careful that you don't damage the display. It is better if you use a flexible tool to go under the battery and try to damage the glue. The battery is fixed in a U shape. If the battery is out, we can put the main board back into the phone. We need to connect the dock connector first and then we can lay down the main board, but be careful with the antenna cables and the other connectors of the flex cables. If the mainboard is inside the frame, you can connect a reflex cable and the two antenna cables. Now we can put the battery inside the frame and test the phone. For that we can go into the Samsung test menu. We need to call the number star hash key 0 star hash key and then the test menu will open. Now we need to clean up the old glue and use our double-sided adhesive tape. And we will make the same U shape as before. If you try to put the battery in the frame, connect it first and then put it in the frame. Because sometimes if you put the battery first in the frame and try to connect it later, sometimes the flex cable is too short. Now we can clip the covers inside the frame and fix them with the screws. The last step is to renew the glue from the back housing. The first thing we need to do is to clean the back housing and then we need to set the new glue exactly. And then we can put the back housing back onto the frame. If you put the back cover on the frame, you can heat it up to 40 degrees and then you can put a heavy weight on it to press the back cover onto the frame. The result is that the back cover will be concise with the frame. So now we are done. Later I will put a hydrofilm on the display because I think it's the best protection for edge or curved displays. If you have any questions, you can ask me here in the comments or with a message at Instagram, and I will answer it soon as possible. Otherwise, have fun, good luck, and we see us in the next video. Goodbye.